Okay, so I just did a video in Spanish. I'm gonna shoot forward in English. Um, so I'm gonna talk about measuring some food, just because when, with my experience, when we go to the doctors, what do doctors do? They take out your blood. Now, what they do is they look at your blood and they will figure out what's going on with you, basically. And I can give you a few examples. There was a young lady that said she eats healthy. The way she ate, there's nothing wrong with it. She told me how it hurt her to lift 8 pounds over her head, but supposedly, she's healthy. Young lady, viable. She bikes every so often, every day. I'm not sure for how long. And so we as humans, we go through all of this, right? I'm going to talk about the three macronutrients, which is fat, which is carbohydrate, which is protein. Out of these three macro kingdoms, we have micronutrients, and these are the generals that fall in line under each of these three kingdoms. All right, kind of like the body, mind, and soul. All right, we're always going to play with three around here. There's land, sea, and air. Body, mind, and soul. There's protein, carbohydrates, and fats. We can go on and talk about all these three all over wherever we go, about any situation, any topic in the world. So the protein. So the proteins is for muscle. This is something that we should, especially if you're out and you're so busy that you might have a job in construction. You might work in a warehouse where you're lifting and pulling boxes and often remodeling your space around there, and you do have to work physical labor. You might go to the gym every day, and you might be lifting 100 pounds over your head for 3 days out of the week, and you're doing about 10 repetitions 3 times, or something like that. Any sort of exercise you do, we have to get enough macronutrients to fit our lifestyle. So we eat for that purpose. Remember, we go to the doctor takes out your blood, he measures your blood, and he kind of knows where you are. So you might go to the doctor, you tell him that your arm hurts. Okay, so you go to the doctor, he takes your blood out. Sometimes they might find us with like diabetes. Sometimes they might find us with something that's wrong with us, a metabolic condition. Maybe your thyroid is messed up. And how do we find all of this? By doing a blood work. So as the practitioner that I am, we're going to talk about some food, because whether we realize it or not, a lot of our issues can get solved with the foods we eat. That goes from losing weight to gaining muscle mass, to just feeling better and feeling that energy that you need to keep going and enjoying your day and having fun and working and building and careering or whatever it is that we're doing. So, carbohydrates. We're going to use the hand. Just so you recognize, I'm 5'3" and 3/4. So I'm a small dude. I'm not that big. A lot of 5-6 feet tall guys, this is going to be perfect for them when you measure your hands. Ladies are usually my size, so we're about 5'4", around that area. We're all different sizes, so using your hand is a perfect thing just for you, because you get to measure what it is for you exactly. Now, I like to always catch my exact thing, so I do have a scale. It's not a digital scale, so it wasn't that expensive. You can go out and get a digital scale. I recommend everybody that I work with to go get a scale of some sort, just so you know and have an idea of what you're intaking. That's the first thing that, if we do work together, that I do always ask to get. Do people pay attention to me? I don't think so, but it's all good. It's all right, because we work around whatever the situation is. So get a food scale. Just so you realize, carbohydrates are always a cupped hand. This is a cupped hand for me, right? Just like that. So what we do here is I have some potatoes. This is about 150 grams. 2 potatoes right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it on the scale. The scale is set at 0 grams. So this is 140 grams it measures. So that was good. I was real close. What I did earlier was look at this chocolate milk, which has all three of the macronutrients. Well, it doesn't have fat, so it has 20 grams of carbohydrate and it has 8 grams of protein. Just so you realize, protein has 4 calories per gram, and carbohydrate has 4 grams per calorie, or 4 calories per gram. Fats have 7, I believe it's 7. It's 7 grams per calorie, or it's 9. Let me see here. I forgot. Alcohol and fats, they have 7 and 9. So if this has 32 grams and it has 200, I believe that's about 9, right? So we got 32 grams times 9, that's around 280. So let's do 32 grams by 7, that's 224. So fats is usually going to be 7 grams per 7 calories per fat. So a fat of gram, though contains 9 calories, more than twice the amount of other two. There we go. So it's 9 calories per gram for fat. All right. So if we got 32 grams right here, 9 times 32, it gave me 288. That's kilocalorie. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So carbohydrates are a cupped hand. It's 150 grams. All right. Measure this on a scale. It gives me right on 140. This is an apple. This apple is a lot bigger than I am, so this would be maybe 200 grams, I'm going to say. This is 220 grams of carbohydrate. Now, remember, we're not doing the core, so roughly about 200 grams, I would say, somewhere around there. But you can always go back and remeasure it. So this right here would be about 20 grams of carbohydrates. I'm a diabetic, so I always measure my carbohydrates, and I try to intake what I eat with my insulin. Now when we do fats is measured with your thumb. So this would be an ounce. And what's an ounce? It's about 28 grams on the scale. So 28 grams is 1 ounce. Now I have some hard cheese here, okay, from Nicaragua. This is actually cuajada, so it's a little softer than the real hard one. My recommendation is eating the hardest cheese you could find, the more aged one. It's just like wine. Fine aged, it's fine cheese, just like that. So this right here, I'm gonna say this is a little bit over my thumb. So this might be 30 to 40 grams. This is actually 25 grams is what it measures here. This is less dense. So there we go. This would be a good estimate. 28 grams, and I got 25 grams. All right. So 1 ounce and this big piece of cheese right there messes with my thumb. I got some guacamole here. What I'm gonna do is measure some of this guacamole. Now I got this really big spoon. Remember, thumbs for fats. All right. We got the guacamole right here, which is a mix of different vegetables. If I can read off the ingredients, I will. Because it's not just the actual guacamole. This has the avocado, tomato, onion, lime, pepper, jalapeno pepper, white vinegar, serrano, cilantro, salt, granulated garlic, dehydrated, natural cilantro flavor. So even though this is considered more of a fat, it does have other components. So when I mean to measure all of these different things, when you're measuring food that's already made or things that's already mixed in together, it can throw you off. So I'm talking about whole foods, something like this, something like a real piece of chicken, nothing that's breaded, nothing that comes prepackaged, but maybe some chicken breast that you buy for 5 pounds at your local grocery store. That's whole food. Real hard cheese, something like this. This is whole foods. You can see how it kind of falls in line with what I'm talking about. So that real whole cheese right there was just the size of my thumb. Falls right in the 25 to 28 grams, so 1 ounce. Now I got this guacamole. I want 1 ounce. This is going to be right here, 25. Plus this little piece on my spoon. That's going to be about 30. Nope. Scale doesn't move because it's not digital. I'm going to classify that as an ounce. Okay? Don't tell my people that I stick the spoons in my mouth. But then again, nobody should eat my stuff, right? I don't know. Okay. I also got some mayonnaise from my last run. This actually came to 10 grams. 1 tablespoon is about 1 thumb, so that's an ounce. Okay? And this says 15 grams is 1 tablespoon. So, 2 ounces. Alright? So 2 of these would be 1 ounce, or 1 thumb. But we're all different sizes, so we measure them with our hands to kind of measure for us. So for example, if I say I want you to eat 150 grams of protein, all right, 150 grams of protein, your palmed hand will be anywhere between 20 to 30, up to 40 grams of protein. All right, I'm always going to say go in between. So for example, we're going to say that this is protein. This is actually a potato. This is going to be a carbohydrate. So I'm going to take it into consideration with the carbohydrate. This potato, I'm not sure what it's weighing. Carbohydrate is a cupped hand. I put this in my hand, it fits in my cupped hand. This is it. So this I'm going to say anywhere between 75 to maybe 100 grams. This is right below 75. So this is 75 grams of carbohydrate. We need all of this to fall in line with our daily living and what we're trying to accomplish and what we do throughout the day. All right. So if I tell you 150 grams of protein and that's what you got to consume every day, consume it and try to measure it. This is 75 grams. All right. You get to use that. Now, that's basically what I'm getting all of this involved here. I want you to get a scale, because it helps reinforce you. I want you to use your hands to measure when you do not have the scale. Maybe you're away from home. You can use your hands to give you that nudge. This way, you can sort of keep it in mind. If not, you log it into MyFitnessPal or whatever other application that you use. This goes a long way to helping achieve your goals. So if you want to increase muscle mass, if you want to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds, if you want to lose 50 pounds, guess what? It's an easy way of doing it. It doesn't get too complicated. Why do we eat the certain macronutrients that we need? Vegetables and all the phytonutrients is good for the heart. It's good for all the nutrients that they carry, such as vitamin C from pineapple, such as potato and avocados and bananas with their potassium content. Potatoes in this form gets all the glucose. All of these have a different purpose for what we do. You can go out and this is why we live in the digital age, right? You get to look everything online and see how truthful that is. But remember, sometimes things aren't as they should be. Just keep that in mind. Carbohydrates is the cupped hand. Fats are the thumbs. The vegetables are always going to be the fists, just like boxers. And then we got the protein, which is the palm of the hand. Okay? Palm of the hand is usually going to be 100 grams. Okay? And usually anywhere between 90 to 100 grams is your palm of the hand. That's for protein. You always want to keep these in line to make sure you're reaching your potential. I hope this helps. Comment. Let me know how you feel.